Hey everybody, Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com, and welcome to this Warcry Battle Report! That's right, we're finally playing some Warcry. I apologize that it's taken this long, but we've been busy. All right, what else can I say? There were like 3 people on vacation at the same time that this came in.
But we're playing it now.
We're playing it now! I got Duncan all the way from, I forget.
England.
England!
Whoa.
That's right. I knew it was somewhere over there, but I couldn't remember. Because
Yeah.
I gotta be careful, because
That's
right. I have somebody that lives nearby. If I say he's from England, he's like, "No, I'm from Wales," and he gets really upset.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't want to just assume.
So you can say British or English, and it's
That works for you.
Yeah.
Not offended by either of those. Awesome.
I wouldn't be offended by anything else either.
Well,
It's
that's
all good.
That's good. You know, some people. But anyways, we are going to be playing some Warcry. Now, this is our first game ever. We've read over the rules, we've familiarized ourselves with it, but we haven't done any practice games or anything. So if you see any rules mistakes, make sure you point them out. At the same time, if you are new to Warcry and have never seen it played or have never played it yourself, I'm going to try to be a little more descriptive of the rules, at least in this first game. Now, we're going to play more than one game. The first one here available for free on YouTube, and the other ones we're going to put into the MiniWarGaming Vault. So our Vault members get to see even more games of Warcry, which is really exciting. And if you guys like this enough, we'll probably even do a campaign of it, because it has some pretty cool campaign rules so far that what I've seen.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's not super intricate, but it's got enough crunchiness to give you a sense of progression throughout the Chaos Wastelands. So yeah, so be prepared for me to kind of go over rules a bit more detail in this first game, so that you can try to follow along and see how much you like the mechanics of the game. But at the same time, if you have already played it a few times yourself and you notice any rules mistakes, make sure you point them out. But give us a page number and give us a timestamp of the video so that we can make sure we go in and see if you're right, so we can correct it in future games as well. So we are playing with the 2 armies, or the 2 warbands from the box. I will be taking on the role of the Iron Golems, and you will be taking
Untamed beasts.
Untamed beasts, like all those English folk, right? Super uncivilized, untamed beasts.
You must have been to England before.
Right? The South. No, I'm just joking. So let's take a look at the armies and the warbands, and let's start playing some Warcry. Start off by taking a look at the Iron Golems. This is under 1,000 points. I think it's 970. I'm not going to go over every last little detail of them because, well, we'll kind of go through that in the game. But the leader right here is a Dominar. And then I love this Ogre Breacher. So apparently the Ogre has joined it. We've got our little banner bearer, the Signifier. No, sorry, the Signifer. And we got a Drill Master somewhere, I believe. No, we don't have a Drill Master. Oh, wait, yeah, that's the Drill Master back there. Either way, we'll go over all the little details of them as we play the game. Iron Golems tend to have a higher toughness than other armies, at least from the warbands that I've seen so far. Which, you know, taking a look at them, that makes sense for what they would be. And over here we have the Untamed Beasts, which, as their name implies, they are from the realm of Gur. That's the other thing I really like about this. The different warbands are from the different realms. And these guys are all about being savage. They are not as tough as the Iron Golems, but they obviously have some speed and some other tricks up their sleeve, led by a Heart Eater. That's right, he likes to eat hearts. And you can actually see that there's a Rock Tusk Prowler in here, so they actually have a War Beast, which is pretty cool. So I love the aesthetics of these guys, especially because they're from the realm of Gur, which is the realm of beasts, which is my favorite realm in Age of Sigmar. We have set up our beautiful little 22 by 30 table. This is not using the scenery from the box, except for the board that you see us playing on. However, we are using Azurite Ruins, which is basically what the box comes with, but they have some platforms on the top. So I just went and grabbed some of our other platforms to add them on, just because I think this game really wants you to have a bit more verticalness to it, where there's some fights happening up above. It's not like, if you're familiar with Kill Team or Necromunda, there's not nearly as much shooting, at least not yet. Maybe once they introduce more warbands, we'll see more shooting. But so far, the warbands are mostly about close combat. And so line of sight blocking isn't going to be nearly as important as it would be in Kill Team or in Necromunda. And so it's just fun to have all these different archways, different ladders, different ways to go up and down, some obstacles, just so we can have some fun fighting back and forth. If this is your first look ever at Warcry, this is what one of their cards look like. You'll notice there are no words on it. We theorize that that's because they want it ready for multiple languages. But you'll get used to the markings pretty quickly because they're pretty straightforward. For example, in the circle up here, the arrow is move. This is how many wounds they have, and that's their toughness. And then below is all their different weapons. And this tells you the range of the weapons in inches. So mostly, you can see these are kind of close combat weapons. Even the 3-inch one, you'll have to be pretty close. How many attacks they get, the strength of the weapon, and then how much damage it does. The first number is normal. The second number is if you had rolled a 6 and did a critical hit. And they all follow that same pattern. Now, some of them have rune marks on them, and those rune marks are simply to tell you what abilities they're going to be able to take. There's a leader one, that's a special one because only one of your guys can have the leader rune mark. You also get a card like this that shows you the names of the fighters, and it has different languages in the same box. When you flip it over, it gives you their abilities. We'll talk about abilities soon, about when you can use them, but you can see they have 2 rune marks, some of them. One of them is the rune mark of the faction, and one of them is the rune mark that comes on the cards. Yeah, we should point out there's actually an additional rune mark on every card which signifies the warband that they're from. So every card does have a rune mark, and then some of them have special ones. So for example, this guy has this rune mark, so he can use this ability, and he has this rune mark, which means he can also use this ability, Stand Defiant. There are also 5 universal abilities that come in the rulebook. You can think of these kind of like command abilities from Age of Sigmar or stratagems from Warhammer 40k. They don't work exactly the same, and you're going to see how they're activated. For example, you'll notice so far that every ability has this double, triple, or quad in front of it. That has a significance, which we'll talk about when we get to the hero phase. And this one can only be used by leaders, but the other ones are generic. They have no rune marks on them, so everybody can use these, assuming that you have the right dice for it. We're going to be playing a pitched battle. We're going to be making one exception to the rules, though, because we're going to be basically generating a random scenario, and which is a lot of the games that you do play. The first thing we're not going to do is use the terrain cards. Basically, they give you a big stack of how to set up your terrain. I think that's fine, especially in this game. It seems to be an adequate amount of terrain. But I like to set up the terrain beforehand just because we like to go for a more thematic look. On top of that, these are all diagonal, but if you look at the board, the one that's in the box has not diagonal kind of roadways, and I really like to match the terrain to the board to give it more thematic view. Maybe the huge significance of these will come up later and we'll realize it. The other thing that we're changing is in pitch battle, essentially we're going to randomize which deployment there is, but some of them have this little mark like this, and that means they're symmetrical. So you can kind of see the difference. This one's symmetrical and this one's not. You're supposed to only use symmetrical ones in pitch battle or in match play, and we don't care. We're just going to keep them all in there to get whatever it is, because the non-symmetrical ones would be like there's an attacker-defender kind of thing.
I feel like we do care, actually. We think that they could be quite fun, the non-symmetrical ones.
Exactly. Like, we don't care to make it more balanced, I guess, is what we're trying to say. The same thing goes for the victory cards. There's symmetrical ones and there's non-symmetrical ones. Typically, the non-symmetrical ones have an attacker-defender, that kind of thing. So we're going to draw 1 deployment, 1 victory condition, and 1 twist. If you are familiar with the open war generator, the open war cards from Warhammer 40k or Age of Sigmar, then this is very familiar to you. But before we do any of that, we have to actually go through the proper sequence. The first thing is to assemble your army. Done. The second thing is to roll for priority. I have priority. The third thing is to organize your army, your warband, into battle groups. Now, there are 3 battle groups. There is the dagger, the shield, and the hammer. You have to have at least 1 fighter in each of them, no more than half your fighters in any of them, but the shield has to have at least 1/3 of your fighters. So let's split them up and show what we did. So not really knowing the scenarios yet, we're both just trying to guess at the best way to divide for dagger, shield, and hammer. So I've put my faster guys in the dagger, my leader, my big guy, and the signifer in the shield, the shield. And then the hammer, I have this guy who seems to be slower and hits hard, I'm not sure. And there's another guy that's the same as this guy right there. So I have at least 1/3 here, no more than half in any of them, and at least 1 in each.
And I've also been guessing. I've put my 2 guys who ranged weapons on first, because I think maybe I want them on the board the whole time.
The dagger, kind of being the snipers, right?
Yeah, and I got my fastest unit coming on first. Then I got my medium fast, and I just wanted some guys just to run and get.
And your leader as well, right?
Yeah. And then just these 2 guys are coming in last.
Yeah, we're just guessing right now what seems to be the purpose of each of these. It seems to be like a typical vanguard is your dagger, which is, they want to jump into the fight first. Shield is your main contingent, and then hammer is there to grab extra objectives or provide those reinforcements at the end. Now let's figure out our scenario. Our deployment is this, which looks like Our daggers are the ones that are going to come on last.
Oh my goodness.
So we start with shields on and hammers on.
So much for that.
Yeah, right? So yeah, all of our thoughts are gone. That's okay. It's a standoff apparently, so the daggers are kind of outflanking, it looks like. And then our twist is a deluge. No ability or attack action can be used to target an enemy fighter more than 6 inches away this battle. In addition, when a fighter climbs, count each inch of vertical movement as 2. So it's raining very heavily. So but that won't matter. Oh no, you have an 8-inch range
I'm
weapon.
losing 2 inches on my maximum range weapon.
It's on one of your guys. And climbing is going to be hard. And then what's our victory condition though? Conquer. The players roll off and the winner chooses who's the attacker and who is the defender. If every fighter and the defender's hammer is taken down, the attacker wins. Ooh, interesting. Otherwise, after the 4th battle round, the defender wins the battle. Any fighters from the defender's hammer that are within 4 inches of the battlefield edge at the end of the battle round immediately count as being taken down. If playing a campaign battle, do not make injury rolls for them. So the defender has to keep their hammers away from the edge of the battlefield. So they need to be kind of staying in the middle, which is...
This feels like a really nice kind of match up, these two.
But the hammers start close to the edge, so they're going to have to immediately kind of run in there. So I guess the hammers are intent on destroying each other, and the shield is there to shield them.
And then the leaders have come in and said, "What are you doing?"
Well, the dagger. Our leaders are on the field already. The shield.
Yeah.
The vanguard guys will pop in later in this heavy, heavy rain. So you need to roll off to see who chooses who gets to be the attacker and defender. You get to choose attacker or defender.
Defender for sure.
Okay, all right. Put all the onus on me to kill your 2 guys.
Yeah, good luck.
Having won the priority roll off, I get to choose the deployment zones. And so you can see they're right here. So blue, 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 red, red, red. So I'll choose this side. So it'll be shield, dagger, and then round 2 will be, shield, hammer, and round 2 dagger in that corner. And yours will be shield, hammer, and round 2 dagger. So no matter what, we both start by deploying our dagger, starting with the player who has priority. The dagger in this scenario, however, says that it comes in round 2, so we don't deploy them. After that, we both deploy our shield, starting with the player who has priority. So we deployed our shields. 6-inch point right up here. You have to be wholly within 3 inches of it, horizontally, any distance vertically. So I got my 3 big guys ready to go, and you're screening your leader with your other little guys. So now we're going to set up our hammers. So his hammers are very important because if I kill them, I win, and if I don't, I lose. So my hammer here is 8 inches, 3 inches up, and then wholly within 3 inches, so I put him as far forward as I could. And then he put his hammer as well. Now remembering that at the end of each battle round, if his hammer units are within 4 inches of any battlefield edge, they are taken down. In other words, you gotta stay close. And that's deployment. We're going to start with the hero phase. The first thing we do is roll for initiative, but we don't roll for it in a way that you may be familiar with in other games. Instead, we each have 6 dice that we'll roll. Ooh, I'm already liking this. And then you organize it into singles, doubles, triples, and quads. So you've got 3 sets of doubles.
Yeah, I like it.
I've got 1 single, a double, and a triple. And whoever has the most singles has initiative. Now,
so Matt has the initiative.
I now have the initiative, but we then add a wild die. So each player gets 1 wild die per turn, and you don't have to spend it, and it will carry over to the next round. And you can use this wild die to either to say, I'm going to add another single, because maybe we both had 1 single, or maybe you have enough wild dice that you can add a couple and try to grab. You can seize the initiative essentially. And if we both end up with the same number of singles, then we roll off for who has initiative. So Duncan could use his just to be like, I'm going to put a 2 down here, which will be a single. That way we have to roll off for initiative. Or you can use it to turn a single into a double. So I could put down this as a 4, a double into a triple, or a triple into a quad. Or like I said, you can hold on to it and do nothing with it. Now, what is the significance of doubles, triples, and quads? Well, if we go back to the abilities, once again, you'll see double, triple, and quad. Now, whenever a fighter is activated, they can use 1 ability per activation, either before their first action, or before their second action, or after their second action. but you have to expend one of your doubles or triples in order to do it. For example, a universal ability is Rush. So you can use one of your doubles, and you can use a triple to do a double, or a quad to do a triple or a double, but it does expend the whole thing, to give them +1 move until they end their activation. Or another double to give them +1 attacks. You can use a triple if they're not within an inch of an enemy fighter, and you remove a number of damage points allocated to this fighter equal to the value of this ability. What is the value of the ability? Well, it is the die roll. So I have not only a triple, but a triple that is 6. So I can use this as a respite to remove 6 wound counters from somebody. The leader has his own triple ability, which allows him to activate another unit within 6 inches. And then the mighty quad is Rampage, that the fighter gets to do a bonus move and a bonus attack. And then there's all the faction-specific ones, which are even specific to the units. We're not going to go over all of those right now. If we use them, we'll bring them up. But you can see there's doubles, there's triples, and there's even quads.
Couple of edge cases. You can't do that. It's not allowed. You can only have 1 wild dice.
So if you save your wild dice and you have more, you can't put them both to the same thing.
You can't do too much. And the other thing is, when you add a wild dice as a single, it doesn't count as a number. So you could add as many as you like. You don't have to worry about whether you've got enough spare numbers left.
Exactly. So you don't have to put down a 3 or a 2 or a 5. You just say this is a single. So the singles basically have no value, unless you then add a wild dice to it. So now we have to do this in a specific order. The player that has initiative, which is me, has to use their wild die or choose not to use it first. And this way it gives the person without the initiative the chance to see if they can try to seize the initiative. So what do I want to do with mine? After reading over my abilities, I'm quite happy with my roll, actually. It gives me initiative, gives me access to a very powerful triple, because I have a couple abilities where the value of the triple matters too. It gives me a double, and it'll force Duncan to use his die just to try to get the initiative, if that's what he wants. We'll see. All right, Duncan, what are you going to do with your die?
Well, I don't want the initiative, so thank you. And I'm going to save it because I've got some powerful quad abilities. So
you're hoping to roll a triple?
Yeah.
Okay, so we both saved our wild die, hoping for a more powerful second or further turn. Next up, we have a reserve phase. Well, obviously, we don't have any reserves coming in because it says round 2 for them. And then we have the almighty combat phase. This is the rest of the round, essentially. In the combat phase, you choose a fighter to activate, and he gets to make 2 actions, and they can be the same action. There's move, there's attack, there's disengage, and there's wait. So move, you just move. Attack, you attack. And if you're already next to a guy, or you already have range, you could attack, or you can move. Wait is a special one, and that you can do it to either just you have your second action, you have no idea what you want to do, and there's nothing you want to do, so you just say, I'll just wait, which means that you don't have to take the second action. But if you take wait as your first action, then your activation ends, and you can activate them later to do one other action. So it's kind of like an Overwatch, if you're familiar with that from other ones, except you only get 1 action later on.
I think of it as a tactical wait.
Right.
I want to see what my opponent's doing, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. It seems more important if you know he's about to come around the corner, or if you're in cover and you know he's going to shoot at you, and you want him to shoot and then you go across. We'll see when it comes up.
Yeah, we'll see.
And the disengage action you can use if you are engaged in combat, so I think it's within an inch of an enemy, and you use that to move 3 inches. It doesn't matter how fast you only move 3 inches to disengage. I'm going to start by activating my big guy, my Ogre Breacher. And I'm going to start by using a triple ability. And we're going to use my 666s. He's got Living Battering Ram. Until the end of the fighter's activation, the next time this fighter finishes a move action within an inch of the enemy, pick a visible enemy fighter within 1 inch of this fighter. Allocate a number of damage points to that fighter equal to the value, 6, of this ability.
And these guys are going to activate a free action called Look Terrified.
I've already pre-measured this. He's exactly 5 inches away from the guy in front, so he's going to move an inch away, choose him, and allocate 6 damage to him. So he just moves forward and pow!
So you're declaring you're within an inch?
Yes. So that knocks him down to 2 wounds. Then, as my second action, I will attack the same guy. As you can see, my attack has a reach of 1 inch, 2 attacks, strength 6, and does minimum 4 damage. There's only 1 roll. There's no hit and then wound and then save. It's just a single roll. The way that you do it is you look at the strength of the weapon, 6, versus the toughness of the target, which is 3 in this case. If you have a greater strength than them, you have to roll 3 to hit. If you have the same strength, it's a 4. And if you have a lower strength, it's a 5. Now, if you're familiar with Warhammer 40k, this sounds very familiar, but remember, it doesn't go to 2. It's just, I know I'm double him right now, strength 6 versus toughness 3, but it doesn't go to 2. If I roll a 6, it's a critical. And that's important because if I don't roll a 6, it does 4 damage, and if I do, it's 8. I just realized this guy could one-shot them anyways. So as long as one of these dice is a 3+, it'll take that guy out.
Hey!
Wow, good start to the game! And that is the end of his activation. So now the play passes to Duncan, who chooses a model to activate.
I'm going to choose this guy here. I'm going to use these 2 dice for Onslaught to gain 1 to the attack's characteristic.
What's he going to do for his actions?
He's going to attack.
Now, I want to point out that you don't actually have to declare or decide your second action until you finish the first, but he knows he can't kill me with his first attack, so we're just going to save time and attack. This fighter has a 1-inch reach, he's already in range. 3 attacks normally, but you use the ability to give him +1 attack for this activation, so it's 4. And then strength 3 against my toughness 5, so you're going to be 5s to wound, and if you roll 6s, it'll do 3 damage instead of 1. So 8 attacks in total, just to speed up the game. Whoa, look at that!
Come
12
on.
damage!
Oh, yes.
Yeah, 12 damage, okay. Just like that, he's down to 18. That's what I get for not rolling a 3+ on 2 dice. I'm gonna activate this fighter back here, and I'm just gonna tell you what I'm gonna move. We can pass freely through the archways, so he's just gonna end up over here. So you're gonna activate another one of your little guys.
Yeah, this chap's going to charge in. He's inspired by his friends. His first thing to do is move.
As he's trying to get within an inch of him.
We might want this off camera, it's going to take me a while. I'm trying to be within an inch of this guy and not within an inch of this guy.
Okay, that's easy enough.
It's...
And you can't do that, so what are you gonna do instead?
Well, I could, but I want this guy to come around, so I'm just going to go about there.
And what's your second action gonna be?
And now he's going to do a wait.
So in other words, just nothing.
Yeah. But
I'm gonna activate my Armator next, just gonna do move. He only moves 3 inches, so it'll bring him up to here.
I'm going to activate this Plains Runner. He's going to move to here, so he's within an inch. And then he's going to attack.
Just a regular. And?
Yeah, these get thrown away at the end of my turn.
That's
so
true.
I might as well use them, so I'm going to gain 1 extra attack and use these.
Same ability as last time.
Yeah.
But this time only 4 attacks total, because you don't get to attack.
Here we go.
Nothing.
Ugh.
Well, I guess that makes up for the 12 damage that the other guy did. Well, I'm gonna activate my leader, who is a Dominar. I'm gonna use the double rush universal thing to give him +1 move. And that allows him to move just within an inch of your other Plains Runner. And then we'll attack. He's got a decent attack. 3 attacks, strength 5, at least 2 damage, possibly 5. And my strength 5 versus your toughness 3. So we're looking at 3s. All right, so that's 4 damage, which knocks him down to 4.
I'm going to use my double to activate an extra attack.
On your Heart Eater?
On my Heart Eater, and he's going to charge in 5 inches, which just gets him to there, which is why I moved this guy out of the way.
And attack.
Yeah.
So you give him an extra attack, so that 4 attacks becomes 5. Strength 4, so still only 5s because that guy's toughness 5. But he could do a decent amount of damage. You need 5s.
Oh, I need 6s.
No, 2 5s, so 4 damage. So it brings him down to 14 wounds. My Signifier will go next. He will just move. Then you have 2 Prey Takers still to activate because I'm done all my guys.
So my tactics worked because the reason I wanted to go second is I wanted to see exactly what you'd done before I moved.
Yeah, so you need to protect your hammers, right?
Yeah, so they could possibly attack, but I'm going to skip it. I'm just going to move them up to here.
Now make sure they're more than 4 inches away from the table edge. Otherwise, they automatically die. And it's not wholly within 4 inches, it's just within 4 inches they die.
And let me just...
So up they go.
There we go.
And that is it for Battle Round 1. Pretty straightforward. There's no morale phase or anything else like that at the end. You can see that we're all in the thick of things now, and there's going to be some positioning things to try to keep your hammers alive. But we just roll initiative. Roll our initiative dice again for the next round. Roll an initiative dice. Interesting. Let's organize them. So we both got 2 singles. Heck, looks like we rolled... Holy cow, we rolled identical. Wow, that's... not likely. So we both got singles and we both got a double. Since we have both the same number of single dice, we roll off for who has initiative. So I have initiative again. Get access to a second wild die. I'm actually going to use both my wild dice. I'm going to increase this to a triple and increase this to a triple. I have a specific plan in mind. What are you doing, Duncan?
I'm going to make that into a triple. I would quite like the initiative, and I just wanted to say I'm a maths teacher back in England quite a bit, so I often use dice as the singular for die, because that's like standard procedure in schools now. It's less confusing.
Yeah, that's true. I noticed that in Games Workshop products as well. They say dice.
Yeah.
I think that must be a British thing.
Yeah.
Because over here we don't do that.
From a teaching point of view, we started just getting far too confusing, and so many people use dice anyway.
Yeah. Now we have a reserve phase, which in this scenario, we both bring in our daggers, and mine will come in at this point. Wait, I think it's the opposite.
Over here.
Yeah, that point, wholly within 3 inches, and yours come within that 3 inches of that point. Now, Duncan's having a hard time placing his 3 wholly within 3 inches. The rule is if you can't do that, you got to do it as close as possible to that.
Which is what I've done.
Yeah, so I think you're just slightly out of 3 inches, but that is actually correct. And then my dagger is in the other quarter, wholly within 3 inches. So you have initiative, so who's going first?
My leader's going to go first, and I'm going to give him an extra attack.
And then what is he going to do?
No, I'm not going to give... Whoa. No.
Whoa.
Can I retract that, please?
No, too late. You took your hands off of it. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
So instead, what is his first action going to be?
He's going to make 2... Well, let's do both attacks at the same time.
Also attack?
Yeah.
So attack will be 8 attacks. Strength versus toughness means he'll be on 5s. Ow!
Ooh,
Ow!
I'm liking this.
I think that's
Very
2 and
much.
5. Is he 2 and 5?
Yeah, so that's 15, 16,
So-
17, 18, 19.
Yeah, you killed him.
I think that's more than 14.
You killed him. Which is interesting, because I was going to heal him 5, which wouldn't have kept him alive. So you took him out of action.
This is why I was desperate to take the initiative.
So you really wanted to go first and finish him off. And then you're going to use the triple ability called Inspiring Presence. It's one of the universal abilities that a leader can use to allow another fighter to activate.
So I'm going to activate this Plains Runner. It seems like he's already taken some damage, and let's go for it. Attack.
And he's going to use the, what is it called?
Extra
Onslaught?
attack.
Onslaught to get +1 attack. So 8 attacks in total. Well, yeah, okay, we'll do them together. I don't think you couldn't kill him with the first one.
Yeah, no.
So 5 and a 6, so that's 1 and 3.
4 damage total.
So 1 and 3, so 4 damage. And that brings my leader down to 16. I'm going to activate my leader. For his first action, he is going to attack the little guy in front of him. The Prey Taker, I believe he's called.
Plains Runner.
Plains Runner. That's close, right? So you got 3 attacks. I'm going to be hitting on 3s. And if I get 2 of these, he's dead because they're 2 damage each. But if I get at least 1 6. Oh, come on! It was a 5! Okay, so 2 damage, so he's down to 2. And then I have to decide my next action, which is just going to be attack again, which is a waste. I'd rather have moved to engage something else. Just need a single 3+. There. Overkill! I will also use Inspiring Presence with this triple 3 to allow somebody else to activate. That'll be my banner bearer who is going to move.
I was worried about this.
Yes. Well, obviously my job is to clear hammers by the end of turn 4, and so if I don't start doing that, then I will be in trouble. So I'm just going to move and engage just one of them.
And in case you're wondering, I measured it. I couldn't get around this.
Yeah, you just had it. It was
not
too hard.
stay away from 4 inches.
So he's got a simple hammer attack, 3 attacks, strength 4, their toughness 4.
Yeah, the Prey Takers are toughness 4.
So, and how many wounds do they have? Are they 10 or 8?
10.
Okay, so I could kill them with 1 swing if we get 2 6s and a 4+, or 3 6s. All right, 4 wounds. That one is down to 6. 1 second. I'm going to activate his special ability, which is Stand Defiant. It's a triple 1. Until the end of the battle round, everybody gets +1 toughness when they're within 6 inches of him. This will make a difference because you're strength 4 a lot, and this will give me up to toughness 5 for a couple guys.
Based on what you said, my question is, does that count for my guys as well?
No.
Okay.
Friendly fighters, it says. You're not, as much as I like you, Duncan, I don't like your guys.
Oh, okay.
They're not my friends. So that'll affect him and my leader. So they're going to be both toughness 5 right now, which doesn't affect your little guy because he's already strength 3. But if you decide to go after him with anybody else, he'll be a little more protected. You do your Plains Runner.
Yeah, he's going to do a move, and then he's going to do an attack.
3 attacks, 5s to hit. That's a hit, and 1 damage. We're both out of ability dice, so this is really just going to be what our guys are able to pull off. So I don't want to activate these guys until you're next to me, so I can do attack. So one of us has to waste an action just to move closer.
But the bad news is...
Yeah, we both have 3 though, so this is really just going to end up...
I move my... run out first.
Yes, I'm going to run out of guys first. Yeah, you know what? Now that I realize I'm going to run out first, and it's just going to allow you to then have more control, I'm going to try to control the narrative right here. So I'm going to start with this guy. No, Yeah, I want to finish him off because he hasn't activated yet, right?
I'm going to argue.
Oh no, he has activated.
I'm going to argue that I'm controlling the narrative.
Yeah. He's going to move and then attack. This is my Armator. So he got 4 attacks with Strength 4 versus Toughness 3. Only 1 damage each, but any 6s will be 4, and you've only got 8 wounds. So if you see 2 6s here, I got you. Whoa! Whoa! I just did 13 damage. Taken down. Ha! Who's controlling the narrative now? Huh? You're gonna activate your Rock Tusk Prowler and move.
Absolutely.
Has an 8-inch move, so it's just gonna zip right across the table.
To that.
But not engage. Yeah, they're just so you know, for the terrain, any arches are just basically anybody can pass through it, unless you have a mount or arc gargantuan.
And the rules specifically state you don't worry about base size for that.
Yes, yeah, it doesn't matter the size of your base. Doors, anybody can move through as well, as long as they're not a mount, gargantuan, or beast. Apparently beasts have a hard time with doors. Take that, Jurassic Park. I can activate my other Iron Legionary and move over here and try to finish him off. It's not gonna be super easy. Ooh, I've only got 2 attacks. I either need to make both of these 4 pluses or get 1 6. No, he's alive. 1 damage. Your beast speaker is going to activate and move.
And I'm doing both moves at the same time. There's one little criticism of this, which is I have to make sure he doesn't end his first move inside the doorway, and I did double check that.
Yeah, that's right, because you can pass through it but not end on it. My Drill Master is going to move. Moves 5 inches, so we're coming for you. Hammers. Your first Fang will activate and move.
And in this case, he does get stuck just behind the door.
Looks cool though. I'm done at, oh wait, no, I'm not done. I got 2 more guys. My Iron Legionary here will just move. Now you have your 2 hammer legion stuff, guys.
Yeah, this guy's going to attack twice.
We're going to do these one at a time because you could kill him if you roll lots of 6s.
If I roll quad 6s, so first lot of attacks.
So these are 5s.
That's 2.
So 2 damage so far. Do it again.
Second attack.
So another 5.
Making 6.
Is it 4? So that is 6 damage. He was 2/4. Brings him down to 9. I'm all done, my guy, so all you have left is your other Prey Taker.
And I decide whether he's going to pile in an attack or just
to get
leg
rid of
it.
Yeah, just to get away from everybody, right?
Yeah, I'm going to have a think.
So what's he going to do? Prey Taker.
Well, this is a new game. I'm going to start trying out some tactics. He's going to go 1 inch, 3-inch climb.
Now it's going to be a 6-inch climb because of the heavy rain.
Okay, let's switch the camera off. I have another thing. So I'm going to double down on that because actually that's going to make it harder to attack him.
So you just go straight up right where you are.
So that'll be... do you think so? Okay. I'm not going to argue with that.
What, how high it is? They should be 3 inches tall.
Yeah, it is 3. And then he can move 2. I'm going to move 1 because I think he needs 1 to get there as well.
Well, he needs 3 to get up to here. And then he moves over and then starts to move around there.
Yeah. Okay, so we still end up at the same place.
Yeah, so you're good.
Yeah.
In case anybody's wondering, they actually do have a very straight, clear-cut rule for this. Basically, the center of your base has to be over what you're walking on. The whole base doesn't have to fit on it during the movement, but at the end of the movement it does. So he stands up, moves over 1/2 inch, and then he can complete that move. So the move was correct, but I just want you to know that there is a clear-cut rule of how that is handled. So end of the battle round, neither of your guys are within 4 inches of the side. Well, he shouldn't be.
They weren't last time.
If he is now, it's because he got nudged.
He is now, but he must have been
nudged. He must have been nudged because you had it
time.
last time and he did not move.
Yeah.
And so you've managed to take out my big guy, which was quite the upset for me because he didn't do much. He did 6 damage to a little guy and then died. Now he soaked up some damage, but your little guys seem to be soaking up just as much damage because, yeah. But that's okay because I've killed a couple of your planes runners and I've engaged your hammers and it looks like I'm coming in. I still have 2 turns to get there.
Is this guy just playing cards in the corner?
Oh, I forgot about him. He'll just move 8 inches. Yeah, the Iron Legionary, he'll just go there. I forgot about him, so we'll just move. Round 3. There's only 4 rounds. Ooh.
Oh, this is nice.
You can make it a quad. Ooh, I got a double and a triple, and looks like we have to roll off for who has initiative. You do. What are you gonna do with your wild die?
I would like to consolidate my ownership of the initiative by adding another single die.
Okay, so the reason that he's doing this is because after we place the wild dice down, we then count up the singles again, and whoever has more singles now has initiative. If they're tied, then you would roll for initiative. You'd roll off, except unless there was already tied. So by doing this, even if I add another single, they were the same number of single dice before.
Yeah,
so
I'm trying to intimidate you into not adding another one.
Right, and so this will force me to either not use it, or more likely, booyah, we got a quad.
Oh.
Now this could be a scarier quad because my one model there with the bola has a quad ability, which is that every enemy within 3 inches takes a number of damage equal to the value. So in this case it would only be 2, but we also have the rampage quad universal ability, which gives a fighter a bonus move and attack action. You've got initiative though.
My Rock Tusk Prowler is going to activate, and he's going to use the special ability which he has called Pounce.
And it's a triple ability.
Yeah, you're gonna take 4 damage when he comes within an inch.
Okay, so it's kind of like my...
It's like a pounce.
Yeah, like my guy that came in and did the 6 damage to you. Yeah. So he moves in and he just does 4 damage automatically.
Pow, 4 damage.
So I'm down to 5. That was your move action. I'm assuming you're gonna do an attack action now?
Yeah, he's not gonna...
So we got your beast right here. He's got 4 attacks, strength 4, which is important because that stat ability I gave +1 toughness to everybody only went to the end of the battle round. So I'm toughness 4 now. And it could do a good amount of damage. Easily, if you roll a single 6, you got him. So 4 is to hit, he's dead. So that frees up your hammer guy. I'm gonna activate my Drill Master. And we are going to rampage. It's a universal ability that lets them take a bonus move, and then they can make a bonus attack action. This is before she does anything, so then she'll be making 2 more attacks after that. No. I already measured this. She has a 5-inch move, which gets her within an inch. Now she actually has a 3-inch reach with her weapon, but her 1-inch weapon is better. So I'm going to be using the 1-inch weapon, which is a 4 attacks, 4 strength against your 4 toughness.
My Prey Taker is toughness 4.
That's right. So it's going to be 4s to wound. I could kill him if I get some 6s or if I get 3 4s. So we'll try. 2 4s, bringing him down to 2 wounds. So then now I have my regular action. So my first action will be to attack. I just need a single 4+ here. There we go. So that one dies. So for her second action, she's going to just do a move to get to there.
This guy's going to attack because he's only got 1 wound left.
So plains runner, plains taker, plains runner.
Plains runner.
Yes.
Because he's lighter, and he gets 3 attacks. So
who's he attacking? My leader or that little guy?
Yeah, the leader. We're developing a shorthand here. We're saying 5s and 6s, 1s and 3s. So
yes, 5s and 6s for your hits and crits, and 1s and 3s for the damage. So 4 damage. And that was both his actions because he did 2 attacks, 2 attack actions. So I'm down to 11. I'll activate my Armator, and it's going to move. It only goes 3 inches. So we're going to go to here and then attack your leader. Definitely not going to kill you. Strength 4, toughness 4, so 4 is to wound. 1, and this is 4 damage for the crit, so 5 damage. So
my Heart Eater is down to 15.
Yeah, that was more to engage him than anything else. Is your Heart Eater going to go next?
My Heart Eater is going to attack. My rough maths, on average, I'm going to do 11 wounds, so I want to add 2 more attacks, so I can, on average, kill
So add 1 attack, and then attack twice. You're looking at 4s to wound, 4s to hit and wound. And, just 1, so 5 wounds so far, so do it again. You need 7 more. You got him. Oh, goodness, you got him.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Armator. I'm going to activate my Iron Legionary. Before I do anything else, I'm going to use my universal ability. Sorry, my universal, that's very confusing. My Iron Golem ability that any of my Iron Golems can use, which is throw bolas. There's no restriction whether I'm engaged or not. I just pick a visible enemy fighter within 6, roll 2 dice. For each 4 or 5, it does 1 damage. For each 6, it does the value of the ability, which in this case is 4. So they got 10 wounds. I can't even kill them if I roll double 6s, but I'm hoping to chip off some wounds and maybe get a few more doubles next time. So we'll see. 4+. Yeah, that's awesome. Then I'll spend my first action to attack. I need 4s, but you only got 1 wound left, so you die, barely. I did 1 damage to him.
Leader, I did my best.
So for my next action, I will move, and he's going to move back here. Beast Speaker.
He's looking for Beast to speak to, meanwhile runs over here. So that was his first action. Second action to attack with his 4-inch range weapon.
He's gonna whip me. 4 attacks, need 4s. So, and that's 1 damage, 2 damage on crit, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So it brings me down to 7. So yeah, that hurt. Ouch. I'm gonna activate my Dominar. He's going to move to here.
Jeez, this looks bad.
Trying to cut off your escape, essentially. Well,
who have you got left to move after this?
Those 2 guys back there.
Right.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to move the other way. I'm going to move up to here.
Do you know
That way.
I've noticed from your videos, Matt, that you are quite a strong player. This is very frustrating. Because
You're trying to run away, he's like, ah!
Against most other players, in my experience, I think they would have gone over there. And Matt is exactly right that my response to that was going to be to
just run over there, and then only one more turn left, and I can't get to him. So unless I roll a couple quads yeah, but it's still not a sure thing. You still have all 10 wounds. So your prey taker, who if I kill, I win, and if who stays alive, you win. Because we only have one round after this. Moves away from the 2 stronger guys, which is probably wise. I activate my legionnaire. He's going to move up, and then he's going to hit you with his bola, hopefully. 3 attacks. Your toughness 4 on your guy, so I need 5s. 5 and a 6. That's 1 damage and 2 damage, so 3 damage total. And your last guy to activate is your first fang, who's 4. Normally can throw his spear 8 inches, but in the heavy rain only 6. And so now you'd like to throw your spear at him.
So this is interesting because I've played a lot of non-Warhammer games, and I primarily play those. And I read the rule that you have to be able to draw a line from the person firing to the target without passing through a fighter
or terrain feature.
So I read it as, oh, there's a fighter in the way. But in fact, Matt is more familiar with Warhammer rules, and
yeah, you have to just be able to draw any line. And this fighter does not take up all that volume. And it doesn't say between the bases, it says between the models.
And you're saying so for typically how games work.
Yeah, you just go for a true line of sight. Now we could ignore the extremities of the weapon, but if we go down to this fighter size, you can see my guy through there, because there's going to be some gap in that model. Yeah. And so that's no problem. In games like War Machine, they often specify that the fighter takes up a certain volume of space, and they tell you how tall the volume is, and it's the size of the base, in which case you're right, this would be blocked by him. But into here, there definitely is a line. As long as you can draw a line, he is visible. And I only get cover, which gives me +1 toughness, if I have an obstacle between me and you, and then am within half an inch of it.
All that falafel, I think I'm actually going to target him anyway.
Oh, okay, that's easier. 2 shots, strength 4, toughness 5, so you need 5s. 6 is your crit,
that's
so
5
damage. Headshot. Brings him down to 5 wounds. That was half his wounds, just like that. My other legionary is just going to move to engage your leader. Give him less options next turn. And that's the end of the battle rounds. We only have 1 more round, and I have to kill him to win, and it's not going to be easy. It's not impossible, but it's not going to be easy. Okay. Good. All right, I got what I needed. But I don't know if I got initiative.
I've got initiative for sure.
Oh, you got initiative. Oh, you got 4 of them. Yeah. So you got like no abilities, but you get to go first.
I want initiative.
Which probably is going to win you the game. So you have initiative. How would you like to use your wild die? I can't take it from you, so don't waste it.
Because I need to work out how to optimize his move.
You're just going to make a second double?
Because I must keep that for the move, and I might as well.
Well, you can use a triple for a double, right? But there's no sense doing that. And I will create another quad with my last die. We got initiative though. This is the last round. Hold on. Who are you activating?
This chap.
Oh, what a surprise.
What a surprise. Yeah. And he's going to, what a surprise. +1 to his move.
He's going to run away. How unchaotic of you. But, you know, very much for the scenario. So he has a normal move of 4, is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes. So he's going to be moving 5 and 5.
And he's got to turn that corner, which...
So well, you know, you can leap.
Yeah, you can.
Leap, so as long as you end with your middle of your base. So you can do a direct line there. So I don't think I can catch you. I think this is a victory, but we'll try.
I need to check the 4 inches. Check the 4 inches.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, can you imagine at the end we're like, oh wait, oh he dies. Okay, so I have got one thing I can try to do, and that will be it. I just did the measuring. I need 11.5 inches to get over here because of the heavy rain. And even with a +1 move, I can't get there. And so the rampage, I can get to you basically with a rampage because I can bonus move and then move. And I'll be next to you and I can't do anything else. I'd love to, if I could throw the bolas and get there, I could do some damage, but I can only do 1 ability. So it's actually impossible for him to get there, which means no matter what I do now, the game is yours.
I wonder if you were shouting at the screen when I changed my mind about going up because of the rain.
Right.
Unfortunately, I changed my mind back again and went, actually, I'm going to double down on that because the rain will make me safer.
Yeah, and you could say, well, if the rain slowed you down to get up there, but it slows down 3 or 4 of my fighters to get up there.
So in terms of the action economy...
You spent a lot less movement than I had to be able to get there. Because if the rain wasn't there, my leader would have been able to actually get to him. And this guy would actually be able to get to him. And you would have probably lost. Maybe? It's hard to say. Dice are dice, right? Yeah. but I was trying to surround him.
Done some blocking and stuff.
I think in hindsight, what I should have done is I should have turn one of my guys right here should have popped up.
Oh, because you could have anticipated that I might go up. And say,
I'm going to block you from every direction. Send a couple guys into the middle to kind of hold off the middle. Pop a guy up, somebody who could take you, not just one of the regular guys.
But then, isn't it interesting? Because then, what would my counter move to that be? Well, I've got range weapons that can hit him.
Sure.
You've not used 2 actions for doing something else.
I think I would have popped this guy up.
Oh yeah.
And then shoot him all you like. Would have been awesome. But it's impossible to say how the game would have gone. But having looked at it again, I'm like, I should have cut off all of your routes of escape. You can see I was doing that. I had the guys come in here, I had guys sent there, and I had guys sent here, but I did not anticipate this, which is blatantly right in front of my face. I even when I set it up said, I want there to be fights on both levels, and then I didn't use the level.
I should put my hands up and admit, when I put them here, I was thinking, well, I'm either going to run them this way, or I'm going to double back behind your lines. I didn't even think of doing this.
Yeah, also probably a lot of the games we play have a lot more ranged abilities, so you kind of think, well, what's the point? Who cares? Yeah. And the fun thing is, too, if I had just gotten one attack on him, I could have knocked him off. It's not likely. It's not likely. It's not likely. You basically, if you take a critical hit while you're within half an inch of an edge, you roll a die on a 1, you fall off of it. And that possibly does damage to you, but more importantly, drops you into the middle of everybody else. So good game. Good game. That was fun. I hope that you enjoyed that. It's very free-flowing, very fast game. This is our first game ever. Maybe we got rules wrong. I can't see where, because it's pretty straightforward. But we are going to re-rack and play again with a different scenario, change up the terrain a little bit. That will be in the MiniWarGaming Vault, so make sure you click the link below to go and watch it right now. If you're not a Vault member, you can click that link and get a free 7-day trial to the MiniWarGaming Vault. Get instant access to the other battle reports that we're going to film with Warcry, as well as thousands of other videos, absolutely risk-free for 7 days. And if you decide to stick around, you can be one of our supporters, helping us to do this. That's why we're able to run our business, is thanks to our Vault members. So thank you, Vault members. Thank you, Duncan, for coming in. Let's play some more Warcry.
Oh yeah.
See you in the Vault.